Great to have you back. Here is Bloodlines, Chupacabra, Chapter 6, Part 1, The Descent. 4 months had passed. Not a single word from Larry. Sandra and Cal had both, slowly but surely, gotten their lives back on track, thinking maybe he had finally let it go. Maybe it had all just been some kind of trick. And then, just as things started to feel normal again, there it was. A package, sitting right there at the door, with clear instructions inside, and a place to be. It had shown up at both of their homes, at the stop alongside on that stretch of desert just off the highway. He pulled over into the parking lot, and there, waiting for them, was a man, tall, balding, and obviously a priest. He was wearing the traditional black suit with the collar tucked back behind a jacket, but you could, just by his mannerisms, he knew Larry. His stern face grew into a smile as they parked the Jeep and exited. He introduced himself as Father Theodore Flanagan, an old friend of Larry's from way back when they were just kids. Father Ted Flanagan, glad to meet you both. Larry and I go way back, so know that you're all in good hands here with the two of us. As we navigate this whole situation, it is complicated, but I'll explain when we get there. Sandra, get where exactly? Larry, that's why I asked you and Cal to be here. The old farm, where my family lived. I mean, it's mostly a ruin now, but some of the structure is still intact. That's where we're all heading. Upon meeting this man of faith, Sandra couldn't help but feel a bit apprehensive. Thinking about Laura, she would have thought this was absolutely ironic, given her unshaken convictions. The remaining party gathered in silence until the Larry, sitting on a large but indented rock that seemed to rise up, as if it were almost meant to sit on, given its odd shape, where it looked like two deep impressions. Larry spoke up. I asked for you two to be here. I know that it's asking a lot, especially after Laura went missing. Authorities have called off the search officially, but I haven't given up. The truth is, I believe she was a victim, and not the first. I am sorry that I didn't tell you sooner, but there is something that I must show you both. So please, if you can, I need your help. It has returned. Cal looked shocked. So the Rangers came to my house with police and the damn FBI asking me questions that I couldn't answer. I didn't know her, and to be honest, none of us really bothered to. Sandra was wringing her hands. Her anxiety was high, but she too was trying to grasp the situation. Me too. I told them everything I knew, which wasn't much. I could tell them I didn't know her either. And let's be real, she was not exactly pleasant. I just can't believe that they still haven't found anything, not even partial remains or clothing, said Cal as he looked at Sandra fidgeting. Look, said Larry. The authorities said that there were a set of tracks around where her tent has been set up and leading away, but these were animal, not human. I don't believe that it was a coyote, said Sandra. I mean, we all heard it while you were telling that story about Chupacabra, and maybe she just freaked out and left. Cal spit on the ground as he replied, Ha! In the middle of the night, out in the desert, alone, and everything she had brought with her was still in her tent, so it's extremely unlikely. Sandra knew what she had seen that night. Just before going to bed in her tent, she crawled into her sleeping bag. She had not dared tell the others, thinking they wouldn't believe her anyway. For the 4 months following, she had repetitive nightmares about the red, glaring eyes she had seen in the middle of the night. She was plagued with so much guilt, and hadn't been able to let it go. She even quit therapy, storming out when her therapist suggested she had some sort of repressed issues with her parents. A pained look in her eye led to tears as she broke down and shared with them what she had seen, and it tore at her soul that she hadn't, the day they left the desert. Sandra looked pale again, wringing her hands as they turned red and looked raw from the constant friction. I have something to tell you both, she said, about that night, after the story you told, looking directly at the priest, Cal and Larry. As I was crawling into my tent, I looked up and saw a pair of red eyes, just outside of hers, about maybe 5 feet away, glaring at me, but I fobbed it off as just being tired. Cal, unsure, looked at her in shock, and then down at his feet, kicking a small amount of gravel, trying to brush it off. For fuck's sake, you could have told us, Sandra. I would have believed you, says Larry, adjusting his cowboy hat to scratch his head, then looking down at his boots, trying to find the words that he wanted to say. Sandra looked terrified as she told them about that night, and how the shape in the dark had such a piercing, devilish red gaze. I didn't think that you'd believe me. Come on, we had just gotten ourselves all worked up over a coyote and that old tall tale. She stammers her words a bit. I didn't think that it was anything. I mean, we were all so tired. Cal takes her hand in his and tries to keep her calm and reassure his friend, because he too had seen it and not uttered a word. I can understand that, and even I thought I was seeing things after that story, but it was just a story, right? Cal looks at Larry, searching for an answer, that it really had been a tall tale, but then why drag everyone out here? Larry takes his cowboy hat off again, holding it with both hands. I would believe you, and I do. Because the Chupacabra is real. I wish that you'd both realize that right now. Sandra was sweating profusely, her nerves shot, as that thing had followed her. She's shaken but determined. I believe it, and I have more to tell you both. That thing has been haunting me ever since I saw it. Could not get it out of my head, and it has been tearing me apart ever since. You both have no idea what it has done to me. I am in so deep that I can't breathe or even fathom sleep. It's always there, waiting for me. Every time I close my eyes, that fucking thing is there. Cal put his hand upon her shoulder. This would have been helpful if you had just been up front. Come on, at this point, why wouldn't we believe you? I should have been honest. I have to take some responsibility in this as well. End Bloodlines Chupacabra. Chapter 6, Part 1, The Descent.